Greetings, fellow citizens. I am the Senate Dude, and welcome back to Starfield. When we last left off, we came here to the Red Devil's headquarters, went to go find Kaiser right here, and now we are going to go to Londinian and maybe conclude this little arc. What's this over here? Oh yeah, we can visit this guy to purchase some gear. What is this? Auto rivet? Modified auto rivet, huh? Hey, what's up, motherfucker?
Oh, this goddamn planet. You romanticize a place when you're away from it for long enough, but I forgot what a dust-crusted pit Mars can be. Now what do you need?
I want to introduce myself. Captain Roy Jensen, Vanguard. I've been helping Hadrian. What's wrong with Mars?
Oh, nothing. I love having to take a toothbrush to every crate they drag in here. Now, you gonna tell me what you need, or can I get back to my work?
Alright, fucker.
Oh, that's you then. I was informed we might be working together. Don't much care for Vanguard. But sounds like you two really got into the thick of it back in New Atlantis. My sister's kids live in the city, so, thank you for what you did there.
Alright. You're welcome. Hope your family was alright.
Yeah, they both came through okay. One science division, other's an artist. Effectively useless human beings that would have had no reason to be anywhere near the fighting. Still, would hate to see anything happen to them. Now, what was it you needed?
Alright, let me see which, I get the sense this isn't your first time you've worked in this place, is that right?
That's correct. Ran logistics for the Devils for years before getting the assignment here. Military logistics isn't usually thrilling work, but as bone-crushingly exhausting as this job could be, it sure as hell was never dull. Coordinating habitats for nightmares from the far side of Lantana 8B and their favorite breathing snack foods? Sure, why not? Stocking the UC for a rancher who's got 2,000 grade A kilos of biomass he can ship to Mars per week? We call days like that Tuesday. So when I heard things might be opening up again, I put in for my transfer immediately.
We call days like that Tuesday. That's actually good. I like that.
If anyone can pull off something as downright lunatic as that, it's these people. And I'll make sure they've got all the supplies they might need to make it a reality.
Alright, let me see what you got for sale.
Everything up to spec.
Alright, let's see what he has in terms of weapons. Assassin's EM Advanced Shoddy. Reckless Bombardment. Vampire's Gift. How much credits do I have? I got a shit ton. That humans drop extra med packs on death. Ooh. Take that. And Reckless Bombardment, I'll take this too. Because they are unique weapons, and I want to keep them. Alright, thank you, sir. I like unique weapons. Unique weapons are great to just take and display at a museum.
I hope that we have not ultimately made a mistake in resurrecting this place.
Alright, where are we going? We need to go to Londinian. Deliver Star Parcel package to Sidonia. Do that later. Ptolemy. Alright, here we are. Ptolemy 2. We need to go to Londinian. Alright, forward base 411. Let's go.
Let us see what wonders of life this place holds.
fuck's sake, you idiot. Making me think that there's bad things here. Take your ammo, though. Tap to start. Alright, I'm trying to tap. Oh, I can get a latte, espresso, mocha, cappuccino, macchiato. What else can I get here? Hackers. Oh, the Trackers Alliance or something. What the fuck is this? Food is here. Oh, I'm gonna open this up, and this is gonna use my only digipix, so I'm gonna save it. Now this is more worthy to open. All right. Okay. Might have found an impossible lock here. Alright, well, we'll, Pause this. Okay, finally made it. Alright, there we go. Look at all this shit. Mind if I loot your place here? You don't need all this ammo, do you? I mean, your guy's out there wasting all of it. Commander Hatum.
I pride myself on knowing every person that steps foot on this planet. But I don't know you. Are you with this collection team they informed us we're hosting? Either that, or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser.
Captain Roy Jensen, UC Vanguard, you're expecting me.
Vanguard, eh? Brief said you were a eclectic group. You must have really shined out on the fringe to get assigned a task like this. Ah, then this must be the rest of your outfit.
Commander Hatum,
No need for introductions, Major Sinan. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you, as does the urgency of your mission, so I'll get to it. Now, Londinian is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's for good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinan's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Every tool you could need to succeed out there. Except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people will not be coming. Do we understand each other?
Alright. Can you tell us what we're going to face out there?
Terramorphs, and plenty of them. Outside our little sanctuary here, much of the planet is theirs. For that reason, we keep our trips into the city to a minimum. That also means our intel becomes largely historical once you go much beyond the defenses. It's also why I want to make sure I'm being crystal clear. Out there, you're on your own.
You wouldn't even send a rescue party?
We are unwanted guests on this planet, and, as a rule, I don't put my people in any more risk than is absolutely necessary. We've got it hard enough out here. So, no, there will be no cavalry sweeping into the rescue.
Victus bombed this place? Why would he do that?
The initial Terramorph outbreak that overran Londinian during the tail end of the colony war came as a complete shock. Waves of the creatures appeared out of nowhere, and the city was quickly overwhelmed. There were some attempts at evacuation, but Victus decided more definitive action was merited. He ordered the spaceport to be bombed, ensuring no other ships could leave the city, halting the spread of the outbreak but leaving large sections in ruins and condemning countless lives. And the intervening 20 years have only made Londinian more hostile, not less. So my people will not be coming for you out there. Understood?
Understood, ma'am. Don't expect backup.
Precisely. I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory, base of the tower just outside. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains one of our field caches. Though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for out there. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this done and get the hell out of here.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates to us out in the field.
Alright, you can pinpoint the location of all these samples all the way from here?
Pinpoint's a bit strong.
The equipment will be able to get us a rough location of any acceptable samples in the scan area. It'll be up to you, Kaiser, and I to find the things.
Alright, ready when you are.
All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you're done, we'll meet by the entrance to the city.
Alright. Let's collect the gear. Oh, look at that! It's an Aceles statue. I didn't know that. Notice that the first time I was here.
That was quite a leap.
Give him one for me, all right?
Not even a weapon in there. Or there is, but
Word of advice while you're out there. Don't trust what the voices tell you.
You think I don't know that? Chunks. Yummy. Okay.
Don't go into the city much. Never for long. Too risky.
All right. Yummy food. All right, let's go, Hadrian.
All set on your gear? Are you ready to do this?
Wait, are you nervous?
Yeah, just pre-mission jitters. You hear about a place for so long, it maybe gets bigger in your head than it should be. But you don't need to worry about me. I'll be all right. Now, are we doing this or not?
Let's go.
Then let's get this show on the road. Kaiser? Percival, everything green on your ends?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Clear.
Perhaps too loud.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
Alright. On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. A Sealy's. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
What? That creature. It's dominated him. Must be a morph nearby, keeping it under its way. Let's put it down. More of them. Clean them up. Go speed it.
Dead.
Do they even try? I heard something.
Looks like the last of them. No sign of the morph, though.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint. But I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot! Get down there and collect as many as you can.
this up.
Hope you can succeed at that before we are discovered.
Got it.
Morphs! Open fire!
Love Terramorph! Oh! I've got hypothermia! Ah, my... Whoa, the fucking... Got one, and I leveled up! An albino Terramorph! Oh my gosh, it scared the fuck out of me!
I cannot wait.
They're dead, they're dead, they're dead. Jeez. Fucking morphs, man. Whoops. Here we go. Terramorph cell sample. Okay, guess it doesn't do anything. Alright. It said activate on it. I'm like, what the fuck? Mech components.
Perhaps not the wisest decision.
All Asile's samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Samples secure.
Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid Terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I'm not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
You've got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Alright, I'm hitting E on it. It's not doing anything. Over there.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. Real marvel. All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm?
Keep moving. Oh shit.
What's that? My God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only... What's happening? Are you seeing this?
Whoa!
Oh my God. The heat leeches are terramorphs.
But heat leeches infest every settlement, every corner of the settled systems. That means that every single one... Oh no.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby terramorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform. We just found out how terramorphs move between planets.
Alright. What does this mean for the plants to clean up the terramorphs?
That I don't have an answer for right now. But if they share a genome, like most nymphs and adults do, the microbe should have no problem dealing with heat leeches and terramorphs. The Asylees, we'll have to look into. But given what we know about the creatures, I wouldn't be shocked to find that they've got an appetite for both.
Okay. This feels like a pretty major discovery.
Pretty major is right. But if what we just saw, if that's possible, the Lazarus plant, it's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, could someone have set that up?
Given what we just witnessed, it's certainly plausible.
But first, you'd have to know the truth about all this.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
That cred stick first, though. Let me eat that. Terramorph is somewhere.
All right, let's get to the bottom of this. First of all, Kaiser's got the cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
There.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here?
I think it means the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attack in New Atlantis.
Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action and used it to trigger the attacks.
I wonder where they could have gotten such an idea, deploying alien life forms as weapons.
I wouldn't be shocked to find out our team, in part, inspired the approach, but our group never dealt with something that could have an effect like this. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test, someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one, it couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the terramorphs. These attacks, I think someone planned them to set all this in motion.
But didn't you say this plant can't grow anywhere but here?
It can't. At least, I didn't think it could. But maybe if we're right about this, someone found a way.
I thought the timings of these terramorphs showing up was suspicious.
They certainly were. But having this answer, well, it raises a couple big questions. Who could pull something like this off? And why?
I honestly have no idea.
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more terramorph attacks, human caused or otherwise, we need that final sample.
Roger that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport?
The entrance is this way. unable to provide sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Contraband locker key. Take that.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required.
And we do that. Ah, Captain. I think I see it.
Reboot engaged. Running diagnostic. Diagnostic complete. Multiple systems unavailable. Warning. Priority safety concern detected. Exterior hatch power restored.
Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Sanoff, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation. They're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties? Yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk.
Got it. Open this first. Open this safe. Wow, who would have known, huh? Those heat leeches were... Those heat leeches were, in reality, the cause of everything. All them terramorphs. And Bay Victus knew. He knew how bad they were. There we go. There we go. Finally got it.
How quick can you get that done?
How quickly? Takes a while. Alright, let's talk to Hadrian now.
Hey, Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the Terramorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he?
That's certainly how I interpreted it.
He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. Condemned this whole city to death. He's...
Cold-blooded murderer.
No, this was so much worse than that. He is a monster.
Yes. Exactly what we all thought he was. But if the plant was used to trigger the attacks, could Vay Victus have been involved in the massacre on New Atlantis?
It's an idea worth discussing further when we're not surrounded by Terramorphs.
Good point. Deal with one monster at a time. Let's go get that final sample.
What? Can we speak for a moment?
Yeah, we'll speak afterwards. Let's go. Alright, I need to get my status here. Oh boy, my... Alright, let's see. Inventory. Let me get my medical equipment here. Sell in. Ship parts. Why do I have ship parts in here? Alright, let's go.
Kaiser! Try it now!
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled.
I sense this is a boss fight arena. Look, a corpse. Terramorph anomaly!
Come on then. We have collected.
Over here. Please. You have to help me.
That thing is putting out some kind of signal.
Andreas, stop walking in front of me. I gotta reload.
The signal that thing's putting out to call in those creatures, I think I can know it. But I'm gonna need some help. There should be some radar equipment powered up now around them. You get those online, and I'll relay my signal through there.
Oh shit. Fuck me, you're scary. Ah! It's dead, it's dead. Anomalous sample.
Good. Now just stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done.
Hey, you big fuck.
Final sample secure.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
Alright, we gotta get the hell out of here. Hi! Hi! How are you?
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion.
Alright. Is the plan still going to work now that we've got to clean up heat leeches and terramorphs?
Can't be positive until we run some tests. But knowing that the terramorphs have been masquerading as heat leeches all this time is a big find. Arguably makes things more feasible, now that we know what we're dealing with, not less.
Agreed. Plus, I don't think you're gonna have to push real hard to get folks on board with cleaning up one of the galaxy's greatest pests if this is what they're capable of.
But none of that's getting done without the samples. You do have them, right?
Sure do. Kaiser's got all the samples in storage.
Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Actually, we can't rule him out. Vay Victus is alive and under UC custody.
I'm sorry, what? He's pulling my leg, right? Adrian?
No, I don't believe he is.
So that means we have a suspect.
I believe that's exactly what that means. Look, Captain, Percival and I, we need to get these samples back to the lab. Ensure we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But Vay Victus is the only solid lead we've got on the attacks. Since you're the only one who knows where he is, can you speak to him? See if you can get him to cough up anything he might know.
You really think it was him?
Plenty of people out there with grudges against the UC, but he's the only one we know had any knowledge of the Lazarus plant. So right now, it's the only option we've got. Will you do it?
Do you want to come to speak? Do you want to come speak to him with me?
Captain, I truly don't. He's already shown he's taken an interest in you. I'll be a lot more useful in the lab right now than I would be grilling Francois. So do you think you could do it? Please?
Oh, he and I are gonna have some words.
Good. We'll all meet back at Mast, outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to know everything we've uncovered here. Best of luck, Captain. And thank you for dealing with him.
Hey! Hostile intelligence.
Best of luck on your fact-finding mission.
Legacy forged.
Visiting Londinian has left me with a longing for Nira. I did not think this was possible. The samples are preserved. The samples are preserved.
Let's get back on the ship.
Do you see anything useful?
Alright. Oh yeah, we gotta talk with Andrea. Hold on. Get up.
What's new?
Hey, Barrett.
You look well. Has anyone ever told you you're the greatest explorer?
Where's Andrea at?
I knew I should have brought
This
a parka.
is Londinian. I've heard the stories, but I have something I need to discuss with you.
Oh, Sarah wants to talk.
Time for a quick chat. I appreciate it when you're able.
Oh.
I'm ready to make some waves.
Hey.
I would like a chance to talk to you, if you are able.
Alright.
You have my attention. I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them?
It's certainly not anything I've done before.
I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Matteo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation?
If you're asking, I assume you feel like you don't.
No, I do not. But I find it hard to quantify. Many of the other members are polite, but distant. I worry that my background and my actions concern them. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death.
Accepting the unfamiliar can be hard for people.
I know. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite.
I'm not gonna flirt with her. Like, she's a good girl, but I've already committed to a woman here. So, charm isn't everything.
No, but it seems to make things much, much easier. I envy that. I know this seems trivial. Perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense?
I don't think what you're saying is childish.
Thank you. That is reassuring. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence.
It wasn't a big deal.
It would have been, to some. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me.
Alright. So Sarah and Sam also want to talk. Let's see who else.
Oh, pardon me. Was that your stomach or mine?
Probably yours, man. Boing. Hey Sam, what you got?
Where to begin? That temple? The hell was that? I've been from one end of the settled systems to the other more times than I could count. But I've never, and I mean never, encountered something like that. Who built it? Why? So many questions.
He's talking about that temple that we found that one time before. You think the temple is proof of sentient alien life?
Maybe? For centuries we've been looking for something definitive that says we're not alone out here. I just can't see the UC, Freestar Collective, or House Varun building that thing. The temple. Or maybe it's just some crazy gazillionaire's party temple. The ultra-rich do some seriously crazy things. Somehow I doubt it.
I'm still stunned at what we discovered.
That's a good word for it. And what you can do? I am not a scientist, not in the least. But that ability, power, it's just plain scientifically impossible.
It almost feels magical.
Okay, just don't say that back at the lodge. Some of them would blow a gasket if you suggested that. Forget about me, how are you? I mean, whatever happened, it could have deep physiological effects. I hope not mental. And even if everything's perfect, still, I can't imagine what's going through your head.
Actually, I feel good. Maybe too good.
That's not disturbing. No, not at all. The other Constellation members are gonna lose their minds once they hear about this. Assuming they even believe us.
Alright, well, Sarah wants to talk now.
Important or not, I'm ready to listen.
The shit here was floating. Hey, Sarah. You gonna talk, or...?
Now that we have a moment, I wanted to ask how you're feeling. After your experience at the temple, you've given everyone at the lodge quite a scare.
Why are you suddenly so concerned about how I'm feeling?
Why am I concerned? Let's think for a moment. Ah, yes. It isn't exactly an everyday occurrence to stumble across a mysterious temple and absorb some type of strange alien energy from within.
Okay, I don't feel any different than I felt before I discovered the place.
I find that to be rather surprising. According to what I've heard, your body absorbed an almost unquantifiable amount of energy of a type we can't even begin to understand. We're dealing with something unknown to modern science. Who knows
Sam,
how
what
this
are you
encounter
doing
has
back
affected
there?
your body or your mind?
Is the energy dangerous?
Although I don't know the exact nature of the energy you absorbed, I'm fairly certain it means you no harm. I don't have any scientific data to back that up, so you'll just have to trust my intuition. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
I appreciate the concern, but I promise you I feel perfectly fine.
Well, good. I'm pleased to hear that. That temple proves we're dealing with entities of unknown origin. The problem is that we can't even begin to guess what their intention was towards us and where they've gone.
You think it was built by aliens?
It's a possibility I've considered, but I'm not 100% convinced. The only thing we can be certain of is that the technology we've encountered points to beings that live outside the settled systems.
I don't think malevolent beings would have granted me this new ability.
Perhaps. It's just that... Oh, I'm afraid that we're flying almost completely blind here. All we know for certain at this point is that whoever created the artifacts are the same beings that built the temple. Anything else is just guesswork. I might as well put on a blindfold and toss darts at theories written on the wall.
Constellation's never heard of these temples before?
As far as Constellation's concerned, you're the first human we're aware of that's ever encountered one of these places. Now, whether you consider that lucky or not, that's another matter entirely.
Solving this mystery will be the greatest discovery in the history of humankind.
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely. But we're only at the very beginning. There are still so many questions that need to be answered. Who was this wondrous structure built to accommodate? How long ago did these entities inhabit our universe? Are they still out there? Somewhere?
Maybe these temples were intended for humankind all along.
Perhaps. We'll need more data to be sure. It's funny. I used to think the artifacts were the end-all be-all of scientific discovery. The pinnacle mystery of our time. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would lead to something of this magnitude. I just hope that you'll come through this, whatever it is, unharmed.
And here I thought I was the subject of your wildest dreams.
Well, yes, of course you are. I was speaking of the power you've acquired. This is all scientifically speaking, of course. Look, I've already taken up too much of your time. All I can do is promise that I'm not going to make you deal with this mystery alone. Whatever might be happening, I'll be right here to help you every step of the way.
You can tell why I want to marry her. It ain't just because of her looks, alright? Now, get out of my way! Get out of my way! Get out of my way! Get out of my way!
Good to see you.
Alright.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. Alright, let's head out of here. We need to get to, Alpha Centauri. We need to go speak with Ve Victus and find out why the fuck he kept this knowledge from us. Let's go.
So many people, all in one place? I still cannot feel entirely comfortable.
Got anything you need to offload? Trade authorities always buy. Kiosk right here for you.
I'm stuck. There we go. Alright.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Man, look at this. Is a fucking beautiful city. Mass District.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
Alright. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to... Fuck. Well, I'm not supposed to fuck, but, I'm supposed to go over here. Subsection 7.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
She already knows what's in there. I mean, I don't know why she doesn't argue with them, but whatever. Oh, you motherfucker. Is this all because of you?
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
Oh, we did, and a whole lot more.
Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no?
We found a recording of you discussing the use of Terramorphs as a weapon.
Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
So you are really claiming you don't know anything about the attacks? Is that what you're claiming?
Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to do what you're describing? So I'd very much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't want anyone else jumping to conclusions now, would we?
No more lies. Confess or I turn over what I found.
You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
Associate? Who have you been working with?
All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
To work on something that long? This seems personal.
You can be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
You didn't even trust your own people in the UC?
These were the final days of the colony war, Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the Collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our worlds with waves of Terramorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinian at that very moment. Sealing off the city to prevent mass death? It was the only option that made sense at the time.
Please, no secret is so dangerous that you can justify condemning so many lives.
Easy to say now, but in that moment, I wasn't about to add another dangerous variable to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
Huh. And why the hell do you care if the UC wants you as an advisor?
Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? I don't know, Captain. Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, I'm not so sure.
How could you have coordinated all this from in here?
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective.
Orlays? Why does that name sound familiar?
Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria. The pilot of the Warlock. The man I had to eliminate. To hide my secret.
So you murdered UC citizens because of some slight against your honor. You're sick.
There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
Hold on a sec. If you're waiting for me to say thank you, we're gonna be here a while. Actually, wait, what kind of honors are we talking here?
Something befitting the dedication to the colonies you two have shown. While, of course, they can't give you a command, responsibility like that has to be earned. The Cabinet does have access to considerable resources. I expect you'll be quite pleased with the result. And none of it would have happened without my intervention.
If you're waiting for me to say thank you, we're going to be here a while.
I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet. leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
You think I'm just gonna forget the fact that you killed people to accomplish your good works, and what kind of work are we talking about here?
Hunting down criminals and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlays. Track them down and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks.
You think I'm just gonna forget the fact you killed people to accomplish your good works?
And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. Whether it's winning a war or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same and leave my name out of the discussions to come.
You know, I'm not sure what I'm going to tell the cabinet.
Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not squander the opportunity to do more.
What I'm gonna do with him.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Alright.
Ah, hello. Very good.
Hold on, I gotta make her follow me again. Hold on.
Yes, you need me? I will keep watch from... Yes? You lead.
Pardon?
Alright, well, we shall end it with this nice shot here of the UC thingy here. Alright, everyone, well, we'll decide Ve Victus's fate in the next episode. And thank you all for watching this great episode, and yeah, I'm now going to yield the floor. Bye!